Hello traders. Yes, welcome to Awesome Forex. Welcome again, and it is another day, it is another weekend, and it is another time. And as usual, we're going to share our weekly analysis. I think now this is almost common to most of people who follow Awesome Forex. They are aware with our weekly analysis, and it is weekend to weekend. Always we try to give out an outlook for the coming week. And as usual, now we have finished this week and we had analysis, and it was from 8th of November to 12th of November. So we're going to have analysis for the coming week that will start from 15th of November to 19th of November. So we're going to see what's going to happen, and specifically it's on gold. Mainly we'll concentrate on gold, and also we can have analysis on the currencies and specifically USD CAD, but here we're going to analyze gold. So before going anywhere, make sure that you do those important things here at our homepage. Here is our YouTube homepage, so you can have connection, or you can connect to us through those phone numbers presented there. And also we have special buttons, special links that you can hit straight, and they can take you directly to the place where you're supposed to go. So you can hit a button for a broker. We have LITEFOREX broker there, and then we have another button for it is for Templar broker. Then we have 3 buttons for our social media, so you can hit those buttons and then they will connect you directly with us. And mainly for those who are using computers, they can have access to those buttons straight from the homepage. But for those who are using phones, you can find the links now. You can find links for those areas. They are attached on the video description, so you can scroll down to video description and find those links to brokers and to our social media. So now welcome to our weekend analysis, and here is gold. This is gold. So we describe what has happened this week, and then what do we expect in the coming week. So now important things to note here is what I have noticed now. There are many people who watch just a few minutes of the video and they skip the rest of the time there, so they don't have that clear picture of what has been described in analysis. So they come out with a general picture of a direction of the market. So remember, in a big picture, maybe in a weekly time frame, our direction may be in a particular way, maybe it is up. But remember, as we dig down, because the analysis here is based on a top-down analysis, so as we dig down to lower time frames, we can find a specific direction, and it is just in a matter of maybe the first day or second day of opening of the market. So some people, they concentrate on maybe analysis on maybe on weekly only. After watching a direction on weekly, they skip a video, and then later they can find that market is doing a different thing. But what is important is you have to watch till the end of the video. So my concentration will be in a weekly, then daily, then 4 hours time frame, and finally I can have analysis on 1 hour time frame. So make sure that you watch till you see I'm talking about the 1 hour time frame. So it is just a time frame that give us a specific direction. At least it is a specific direction. But for your own just choices, you can move to other time frames, like 30 minutes is very important, and also you can make your trading decision on 15 minutes time frame. So you have to do your own things in order to get a specific direction. But what I'm going to give you is an overview, the overview of the direction of the market. So this is very basic thing to remember. And also, before I start talking about what has happened this week, also I remind you, because I shared those informations on YouTube and also on Telegram, I already said that we are going to have we are going to have weekly analysis as usual, as what I'm doing here, but also we're going to offer signal services for the coming weekend, mainly to start on Tuesday. So remember, from Tuesday we are going to have signal services, and this is specifically for currency. So make sure that you follow us on our Telegram. Make sure that you join our Telegram channel. In our Telegram channel is a major platform that we're going to share those signals. So make sure that you do that, and our link is on at homepage now. Remember, at our homepage there we have a link to our Telegram channel. So make sure that you hit that link, and if you're using a phone, make sure that you scroll down to video description and find those major links, and also we have that link to our Telegram channel. That's very, very important. Now in my analysis, I want to keep clear something there. Always I use price action. Mainly I use price action, and mainly on the price action I concentrate on those who call the price action tools. Several times I've been presenting trend lines, and also I've been presenting support and the resistance. So that's very, very, very basic, and always I try to start with that because I'm sure that most of traders, they use those we call the price action tools. But also I include wave counts, and I'm sure there are very few traders who use wave counts, so I associate wave counts in my price action analysis in order to get confluence, in order to have many confirmations for a particular direction. So if the market has confirmed maybe through price action tools that is going to sell or is going to buy, so I incorporate wave counts. And in my wave counts analysis, always I don't do everything because I'm sure there are very few people who use wave counts, but always it's very, very general, it's very deep. If I include everything here, people, they are going to get confused. So I include very few people, very few things or very few tools in my wave counts. So now let's go straight to what has happened this week. What has happened, and also I will relate with maybe what I projected or what we were expecting that's going to happen this week. Now I remember last time, my last analysis, it was on 6th, but main market closed on the 5th of November. I think it was 5th of November. Let's check. Yes, it was on the 5th of November. So on the 5th of November, market closed, but my analysis was on the 6th of November. So market closed with this candle. It was a bullish candle, a very small bullish candle. It was a bullish candle on the 5th of November. So it was at this area. So I remember mainly concentration of analysis last week. Now if you have not watched the video, make sure that you can watch, maybe to get a correlation with what was presented and what has happened. So major concentration was market's going to push up until it hits that level. Mainly that was the first projection that we have to look for market moving toward this level, because this level had two things. It had a resistance now, and also it had this trend. And so I said those two things will act as magnet, now attracting price toward that particular direction. Then later, now the projection was, we have to look for what's going to happen when the market already touched this level. So now market hit that level and started to move down. It was just a slow movement. It was a very, very slow movement. So slowly it started pushing down. So now what we were expecting here is market may push down deeper to a certain level. We're expecting that market may push down deeper to a certain level, but also I said, because we're in a third wave, so correction in a third wave usually they are sharp. They are shallow. Now correction, they are shallow in the third wave, because it is mainly because of the power, the power to a particular direction of a trend. So now due to that great power to the upside, those corrections were shallow. So that correction, the correction that we were expecting here to be deep, now it didn't took that form. Now it was a very straight movement to the upside, which was mainly driven by news. This was driven by news. So straightforward, it broken that trend line and that resistance. So due to the effect of news, and always this is very common if you have covered the idea of LO12 personality, on the concept of LO12 personality, always it has been stated that in a third wave, news always becomes positive. Always in the third wave, news become positive. So when we had information about CPI, we were expecting that this probably may have a positive effect, as how LO12 personality explains. But mainly it was just a very low probability to have this kind of movement because of the strength of this level. but always those things happened. So now this is what happened in the past, in this week. Now it is just what happened this week. Now always after breaking this level, market has kept on moving. Now it has kept on moving, and it is mainly on the sideway. It has kept on moving on the sideway. So now we have to settle and look what's going to happen. What is going to happen? What's going to happen? So now, before going to what's going to happen next week, I would like to thank some people now. I would like to give my thanks to certain people. Actually, it's not straight to certain people, but it's actually places now. It's actually places. Now, I appreciate support from India. Actually, I appreciate support from India, because last week analysis, actually the last week video, has been viewed by most people from India. Actually, they have taken a first position in analytics from YouTube, whereby they have contributed to about 15% of all of the views, and it has taken over to the second position, which was taken by Indonesia, who have took 4.9%. So always much support has come from India, and also I know Indians, they are now it is the second, I think, mainly. I don't remember specifically those statistics when we are released, but mainly India has been considered to be the second largest investor in gold. Actually, they invest in physical gold, and also they invest in maybe online forms of gold, maybe securities, CFDs, and other things. So mainly they have watched the video for analysis of gold this week. So they have taken a first position, followed by India, then the third was Thailand, and the fourth now, the fourth was Tanzania, and the fifth was Malaysia. So I decided to appreciate support from those first 5 countries, but we have many countries that have contributed or that have watched the video. So if you are from any of this country, or if you are from a new country and you are watching this video, make sure that you share to your fellow. And every time I'll be showing the analytics now, the analytics on maybe which country is doing well on the aspect of viewing analysis on gold. So therefore, thank you for this. Now let's move on and see what is expected to happen now. What do we expect to happen in the coming week? So we are going to see weekly time frame now. As I said, I do what we call a top-down analysis. So top-down analysis is all about analyzing the market from higher time frames to lower time frames. So I have to do that in order to get in order to have a specific direction, in order to have at least, it is not necessary to be an accurate direction, but at least an accurate direction, at least. So now in a weekly time frame, we have our weekly candle there. That has closed now. Now the time is, it is 0020. So it has closed 20 minutes ago. This candle has closed 20 minutes ago. So now always it has closed as a very strong bullish candle. It is a very strong bullish candle, and the previous candle was also bullish. So I will share some information here. and specifically from price action. I will share some information from price action, whereby last week we were talking about price moving toward this trend line, and also we had a resistance at this level. So we were talking about that direction, that price is going to hit that level. So now, as usual, price has moved toward that direction, and it has touched those levels, that trend line and that resistance, but price has successfully broken those levels. All those two levels have successfully broken by this weekly candle, and it has crossed above the trend line and that resistance. So if that thing has happened, straightforward, we have informations that the power of the market is still on action now. It is mainly the buying now. It is a buying power, mainly a buying power. It is still in action because there is no strong rejection. There is no strong rejection at all there. So it is still powerful to the upside. So if it is still powerful to the upside, what do we expect maybe the next candle to be? What do we expect the next candle to be? Anything can happen there. Maybe that this is just an overview. This is just an overview. As I've said, you have to watch this video till the end, until you hear that I'm talking about the events that will take place on H1 time frame or H4 time frame. This will mark at least a detailed analysis of this video. But what I'm talking here is just an overview that may be different because this time frame is very high. It's very high actually. So now what I can explain here is mainly we can have now in opening of the market, mainly on Monday, we expect there may be a retest to this broken level, then market keep on moving to the upside. Anything can happen. And also another option here is market may keep on moving to the upside before retesting that broken level. So that is an overview on what is expected in a weekly time frame, but it is very very higher time frame that its events. Now those events in this time frame, they are very slow. Now events in this time frames they are very low. Most of us were trading with very low capital, therefore we need to analyze market in the lower time frames. But mainly the information here is we have a powerful buying, we have a very powerful buying candle in this week. So we have broken those levels, and there's no that clear retest to those broken levels. So what we're going to see in a daily time frame is, let us understand a clear structure in a daily time frame, whereby in a daily time frame we see the same thing. Market broken that level, trend line together with that resistance, and there's at least we see there is at least a retest. There is at least a retest in a daily time frame. There is at least a retest in a daily time frame to this broken level. So if now in lower time frames, now you see now in lower time frames we have a retest, but in a weekly time frame the retest has not yet taken place. So if retest has taken place in lower time frames, so we can have a rise now. We can have a rise in the price in the lower time frames, and then later when a retest will be taking place in higher time frames, it's when those lower time frames will be correcting. Now we'll see a big correction in lower time frames when that weekly time frame is going to retest this broken level. So now in daily time frame, maybe I want to have a picture of a direction. Now I want to dig in detail to have a direction here in the daily time frame, and mainly based on the price action. When I'm talking about the price action, it means we are concentrating on what has yet happened, and sometimes we concentrate now on what is happening. Then what has happened and what is happening always is used to give us a direction on what is expected to happen in the future. So that's what we call a price action. What has happened, what is happening, and then it's very useful in understanding what is expected to happen in the future. So now, as we have now I have added this. Last week we had this one. We had this resistance here, and I said this will act as a magnet. If you remember, if you have watched that video, always I said that always this trend line is going to, trend line and this resistance, they are going to act as magnet. So they are going to pull price toward that upward direction. So I can say the same thing with this. Always I can suggest the same thing with this resistance. Always price moved to this level. It was just a long time ago, at least it has been long time ago. It was 31st of May. This was 31st of May. Price hit this level. So now it has broken this trend line that was respected now on 31st of May. So if it has been broken, this resistance that was rejected on 31st of May, it is mainly as usual as a magnet. Now it is mainly as a magnet, will pull price toward this direction. Now this resistance is expected to pull price toward this particular direction. So this at least gives us a direction of the market in a daily time frame. On a daily basis, it gives us a direction of the market. But don't think that maybe straightforward the price is going to move there. We will have pullbacks. So as I'm moving to lower time frames, and as I'm going to incorporate wave counts, we will have a clear picture of what are the expected pullbacks, what are the expected depth of pullbacks, and also I will suggest specifically where now what are the signs for you to take trades. Now I will suggest specifically what are the signs or what are the specific positions for you to take trades. But when I provide direction, it doesn't mean you have to straightforward to take trades maybe on Monday. No, you have to wait for certain signs or for certain levels to be touched. So now in a daily time frame, we have identified this resistance. That's a very basic information. We have identified this resistance where price now is approaching. We have identified the resistance where price now is approaching. So now what next? Let's move to lower time frame now. Let's see a 4-hour time frame. A 4-hour time frame. Maybe I can do something. I can do something with a daily. I can do something before moving to 4 hours. I can do something with a daily. So now in a daily time frame, I want to incorporate wave count a little bit. Now it is not just indeed, I'm not going to include wave counts in detail or deeper. No, I'm just giving little informations about wave counts in daily time frame to confirm that the price is still supposed to hit this level. I want to add a confluence on the idea that price must move toward this level. So now, based on wave counts, we had the fourth wave in a very higher degree. Now, this fourth wave was just the completion of correction, so it started moving to the upside with the first wave get completed at this area. So if the first wave was completed at this area, price corrected now. The market corrected to the downside and the correction completed at this level. So now this is like a principle now in trading wave counts. Now if you are trading with wave principle, mainly it is like also a principle. Now when you have completed a correction and market has yet started moving to the direction of a trend, your first target must be at the peak of the previous swing high. Now so a peak of a previous swing high will be your first target. So now market already took this direction, it's moving to the upside and it has not yet hit that previous swing high. So now we have also another confluence for the market or price to hit this level that was touched on 31st of May. So now this is also another idea, another confluence. So in relation to the idea of what happens after an ABC correction. So now if that's the case, we can incorporate other things, and I'm going to lower degrees now. I'm going to lower degrees. In a lower degree, we had the second wave. Second wave started with its first wave. First wave was completed and it was corrected by a WXY. So after completion of this WXY, this was the second wave. So what's going on here is the third wave. If this is the third wave, now we have an idea of what we call the multiple wave relationship. And also we have the idea of wave ratios. So I'm not going to dig deeper on the idea of multiple wave relationship. What I want to incorporate in analysis here to prove that price now it is possible. Now it is not just a confirmation, now it's just a suggestion. So it is possible for price to hit this level. So I'm going to add a confluence from ratio analysis. I'm going to add a confluence from ratio analysis. Now from ratio analysis, we use a Fibonacci level. So always I've been analyzing market without including those things because I don't like to incorporate many things, because we'll have a very long video. So I don't like to have that long video because people will get tired watching it. So now I will incorporate this because I will have very key level here that we are projecting. So I incorporate the idea of wave ratio, whereby we use Fibonacci. So Fibonacci, always we have various ways on how we're going, on how you can measure Fibonacci. We have Fibonacci retracement, and also we have Fibonacci extension and Fibonacci expansion. So I'm going to apply Fibonacci extension here, and I'm looking for extension of the third wave now. Extension of the third wave, whereby I take the low of the first wave to the high of the first wave, then I drag it down to the low of the second wave in that particular degree. So now, after releasing this tool, always we need the reading for the third wave. Always, it is common now, it is most common, most of time, always the reading for the third wave must extend up to, now mostly the third wave is expected to extend up to 1.618. It is expected to extend up to 1.618 of the first wave, 1.618 of the first wave. So now the 1.618 of the first wave, it is very high now, it is very higher, whereby you will find that at that particular area we also have another level there, so always in a long term now, we have a 1.618, which is very higher. So this also a confluence for the market to keep on moving to the upside. But now we can eliminate that long-term projection, and have a very close analysis here. I can add another thing here, whereby we had this move to the upside. This was the first wave as usual. And now I'm going deeper to lower degrees now. I'm going to lower degrees, the inside degrees. This is known as a fractal nature. So now in lower degrees, we had this first wave to the upside, then it corrected. So if this was the 1-2, now if you have the 1-2, you can project the third. As I have projected now, I projected in higher degree, I took the 1-2 in this particular degree. This was very higher degree, now this was high degree. So now I'm going deeper to this inside degree now, the lower degree, whereby in the lower degree I have the 1-2. So I can take the same tool now, the Fibonacci expansion tool, the Fibonacci extension tool. Now I can hit the low, I can hit the high now, the high of the first wave, then I drag down to the low of the second wave. Now you see, now in the lower degree, in the internal degree, as I've said, the relation between the first wave and the third wave, usually they relate by the 1.618. So looking to this level, looking to this reading, exactly it is within a very strong level. It is also within a very strong level. So we have those two very strong levels that are expected to be reached in various degrees. They are expected to be reached in various degrees. In a higher degree, we expect to reach this level. In this internal degree or lower degree, we expect to reach this level. So now, for the coming week, we have to expect this minor movement. Approaching to this lower, to this lower level here. But for the future now, maybe for the coming month, and yes, at least the coming month now, maybe next month, we will be watching for this higher level there. But for the coming week, we have to watch for this. It doesn't mean that the price will be moving straight to this level. No, we will have pullbacks. Remember, we will have pullbacks. So as I move to lower time frame now, let me go to 4 hours. As I move to lower time frames, I'm going to be very specific. To what's going on. So we have left with at least one time frame, but mainly what I will say in H4, it will be not that far different from what's going to happen in H1. So by your own, you can analyze those lower time frames, but let me give direction on the H4. Now in 4 hours, we had the first wave completed, now corrected with the second wave, so we are in a third wave. So what we're supposed to understand here, or what I want to make it clear here is the first wave, is the third wave completed, or it is still underway? So now, looking on what has happened here, due to strength of the third wave, always corrections have been very shallow. Corrections now, always corrections have been now very shallow corrections. Now we had this, maybe we had this was shallow, now was correction here, and also we had another corrective movement here, so also this was shallow, and also we have this another movement here in a big picture. Also this may be considered also as a correction. This one also may be considered as correction. So we have corrections at various areas, but now this one is very big. This one is very big. It's different from, now it is greater than those happened there. So now what can we say, maybe now what can I say maybe from what is happening here and what we must expect? What we must expect now. What is happening at this area? A big thing here. What is happening at this area? A big thing here. It has not yet completed, because price is ranging now. Price is like ranging. Price is like ranging. It is moving in a sideway now. It is moving in a sideway. So it has not yet moved out of this structure that it has kept on moving several times. So if price is ranging, and our vision now, or our projection is to have now the third wave, now we can put it there. Now our target is to complete the third wave. So if our target is hitting this level, so how are we going to take trades here? And exactly what has happened there? If I will hit hourly time frame, I can maybe clearly see what is happening here, because based on wave counts, the minute, it is a sub-minute specifically, I think the sub-minute always is clearly seen in hourly, a sub-minute in hourly. So those lower degrees, those degrees below sub-minute, they are not very easy maybe to be identified. So usually I like to count waves in H4 and at least in H1. So in the lower time frames you can find there are a lot of noise. So now market moved up and down, then moved up, completed there, then it is correcting now there. So if it is correcting here, this may take a form of corrective pattern, and this might be a flat correction. This might be a flat correction. This one might be a flat correction. Now taking it to hourly, you can find that we had this 3 move down, it moved up then down. So this is like an ABC. Any correction that starts with an ABC is a flat. If it was a zigzag, it would have a 1 2 3 4 5. So if it now, since it started with an ABC, so it is a flat. So it has an ABC down, up, down. So this downward move, we can incorporate this also. Sometimes RSI help us to identify the wave counts now, those turning points. Do you see this one? You see this one went down. So at least this was like a 5 wave move. At least it was like a 5 wave move. This one, a 5 wave move. So if this is a 5 wave move, so we expect this to be an A, then B to the upside, then C to the downside. So if it is an ABC, if it is an ABC, the corrective structure has completed now. The corrective structure has completed. So usually you are not advised maybe to take actions while the corrective structure has not yet broken. While the corrective structure has not yet broken, don't take any trading decisions, because corrective structures have a property of forming combinations. They have a property of forming combinations. So if combinations occurs, always price may keep on moving to the downside. Now it may keep on moving to the downside, adding the second corrective structure, then after completing that it may move to the upside. So now market is still within a corrective pattern, even though this movement to the upside seems to be an impassive move. Even though this movement to the upside seems to be an impassive move. So in a hourly time frame, what I'm going to suggest, and always this is what is going to guide us in our trading decision in the coming week, always what I suggest here is, if this corrective structure has been completed in this particular wave, where we think this might be the fourth wave. So if this is the fourth wave, we expect to have the fifth wave to the upside in completion of the third wave. Now, the fifth wave to the upside in completion of the third wave. So what is expected here is market might break this structure to the upside. We look for the retest. Then if it will clearly display retest and keep on moving to the upside, moving beyond this previous high, so it might keep on moving to complete this to the upside. So that's the first projection. So what we're supposed to wait is market must break this, because it is still within a pattern now. It hit that level, went down, hit it again, went down. Now it is within that again, so it might be rejected again. So what if it will be rejected? What are we going to do? Now if price will be rejected, always it may form a combination of corrective structures. So if it will be rejected to the downside, what we expect here is it will be retesting this broken level now, broken trend line, and this broken resistance now, where this is a support. This is the support now, so it might be retesting this. After retesting this, also we'll have the same thing. Also we'll have the same thing to the upside in the completion of the third wave. We'll have the same thing to the upside in the completion of this third wave. So we have to watch clearly the action of the market within this pattern. We have to watch clearly the market action within this pattern, because what the market is doing here, sometimes it may be something we call it as a block order. The order block now. It is an order block. I think some people, they know to trade with an order block. We have an order block and an order flow. That is another, it is a concept for another day. It is a concept for another day, but it is just an idea. What the market is doing here, sometimes it might be. So for those who are maybe experienced with an order block, they know what is an order flow. Probably they can understand something here, and also they will have an idea about where, when do we supposed to take actions if the market is doing something like this. So now mainly you have to watch for the breakout to the upside, then we complete this movement up, and also we can watch for a retest to this particular level. Now a retest to this particular level, then take the same action to the upside. So when I explain those alternative things, some people, they say that, oh man, it's like you are 50-50 to the upside and to the downside. But no, it is very clear. It is very clear, because I have already said the overall movement is to the upside. The overall movement is to the upside, and we are watching for the price to hit that particular level there. We are watching for price to hit that particular level. So the overview is we have to watch for the buy. We have to watch for the buy. All the sells, actually, they are not that safe from what I see here. All the sell trades, they will not be that safe, but anything can happen. Anything can happen, and mainly you have to watch for the effect of news. Always things change because of the effect of news. News comes with many surprises, so make sure that you keep up to date with the news. What's going to happen maybe in the coming week? You have to be aware. You have to be aware with your calendar. You have to watch your calendar. You see, on Monday you have news there, but they are medium impact. On Tuesday we have news there, so you have to keep yourself up to date with the news. A direction of the market can be affected with the news. Always changing all the technical analysis. So what I'm doing here is a technical analysis. So when the news comes, actually they can affect in any way. So make sure that you stay tuned with what may happen in the market based on technical analysis, and also what might happen on the market based on a fundamental. So now I think I'm through with this. I'm through. And mainly, if market is going to hit this level, we will be watching for this big sell here in the fourth wave. After having this sell, we'll be watching for the buy again, when we'll be approaching now this Do you see that? Now those are overview now in the market direction, and those things are not going to happen recently. Our recent directions are here. Our recent directions are here. Market is going to move up and down, so in that way. So thank you for your time, and I think I have used it to about 40 minutes. Yes, exactly. I'm approaching 40 minutes, so it is enough. So make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share this video.